bienvenidos a la Deuces Wild Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente es el mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito Santiaguito not with us today. Will the Thrill Clark not with us today. But per usual, we come on here each and every single morning. Well, we come on here and we properly salute our boys. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning to you on the 11th day of June, 2025. Our daily hustle just went out a few moments ago via email. Also put it up on Instagram. The DH, by the way, titled, It's Up to Us. Daily Hustle quote of the day. If it is to be, it's up to me. Daily Hustle translation. No matter what we do in life, it's imperative we hold ourselves accountable for the attitude and actions we choose on a daily basis. Whether we like it or not, the one common denominator of all of our problems and perceived failures is us. Good news, though. On the flip side, we're also the one common denominator of all of the fantastic things and perceived successes happening in our world. When I was coming up with the A's, I crushed it in the minor leagues and got called up to the big leagues in a relatively short period of time. Then, over the course of the next two seasons, despite playing well, I was called up and sent down 9 different times and never had the opportunity to start more than 2 consecutive games at the big league level. Of course, I blamed others for my lack of opportunity and became increasingly frustrated as time went on. Then in 2003, I went into the season with a brand new attitude of gratitude, realizing the A's or this game didn't owe me shit. If I wanted to be an everyday player, I was going to have to earn it by being so fucking good that there was no way they couldn't play me. Sure enough, after Jermaine Dye got hurt, I was put into the game, got a couple hits, made a couple plays, and helped the team beat the Tigers. That then bought me the start the next day, where I got a few more hits, made a few more nice plays, and we won again. I then got to start my 3rd game in a row for the first time in my career, and eventually went on to hit in 22 consecutive games. Look, I get it. There is so much shit outside of our control, and the game of baseball in life is certainly not fair. That said, when we are able to stop being whiny ass little bitches and take extreme accountability for our attitude and our actions, we will be grateful and ready for every opportunity that comes our way. EB. So there it is. It's something that I think is an eye opener for all of us when we realize that we are that one common denominator of all of our problems. It's interesting because we always want to blame other people. We always want to say, well, hey, it's such and such's fault, or I didn't get my opportunity. And I get it. I do realize that sometimes in life, we get fucked. And sometimes in life, opportunities aren't always completely up to us. But our reaction to that opportunity or lack thereof is always up to us. So remember this. If you want to be great, we got to be obsessed with the work ethic, but we also have to be obsessed with the process and understand and know at some point that opportunity will come. After 2002, which was an incredibly frustrating year, I think in a lot of ways, that's when I was going up and down so often. And that also was when I'd gone to the Dominican and won the MVP award and then came back had a great last week of spring training. I think it was 4 home runs and still got sent down. I think there's this point where you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, man, I get it. Like, things may not be working out in my favor right now for the moment, but when I went down to Sacramento, I had the infamous talk with Bob Guerin when he sat me on the bench because I was sucking ass for the first 2 weeks of the season. That was a moment where I realized the game had gotten to me and the decisions of other people had gotten to me. My opportunities or lack thereof had gotten to me, and it broke me. But I was able to quickly realize, fuck this. I'm going to go back to doing the only thing which I can do, which is prepare diligently and be ready for my opportunity. Well, eventually that opportunity came. And quite frankly, I held them hostage. That was my mentality. I'm going to hold you fucking hostage by getting a hit in every game. And first it was 3 games and 4 games and 5 games and 6 games and 7 games. I remember doing an interview at like 17 games. And Greg Pop, I believe, was the guy I was doing the interview with. And he said, Byrnesy, just keep getting hits because there's no fucking way they'll be able to take you out of the lineup if that is the case. And so that's essentially what I continue to do. And that was my first big breakthrough at the big league level. Okay, games yesterday, full slate. Detroit, how about the Tigers? 5-3 winners over Baltimore. Cincinnati, 1-0 over Cleveland. How about that? Abbott absolutely dealing for the Reds. 35-33 now. Terry Francona's got the boys from Cincy playing well. Marlins 3-2 over the Pirates. It was the Cubs 8-4 over the Phillies in Philadelphia. That's going to be a fun series. Mets 5-4 over Washington. It was Boston 3-1 over Tampa. Texas 16-4 over Minnesota. Good to see Evan Carter playing well again, by the way. Yankees in Kansas City, a rematch of last year's playoffs. Going at it in KC. Judge, a monster fucking homer. Jazz Chisholm mixing it up at third base. Once again, there's some bad blood between these two teams, which I think is a good, healthy rivalry. This goes all the way back to I think it was like 1976, the year I was born. It was Kansas City and the Yankees and George Brett and just fucking chaos. So really, really fun to see that new rival or old rivalry re-stoked. Milwaukee 4-1 over Atlanta as they continue to reel. Toronto is playing good baseball. They're 37-30 now, 10-9 winners in St. Louis. The White Sox 4-2 over the Astros, who, instead of funny, I just look up the Astros somehow, some way, who got off to a shitty starter in first place. Incredible. The San Francisco Giants, 6-5 winners in Colorado. That is their 6th straight, but unfortunately they lose Matt Chapman. He goes on the 10-day injured list, dealing with some torn ligaments, I believe, in his thumb, in which he jammed the other day when he got picked off of first base. The A's continue to struggle. They go down 2-1 in Anaheim to Ron Washington and the Halos. San Diego responds to the tough loss on Monday with an 11-1 dominant victory over the Dodgers last night in SD. And then it was the Arizona Diamondbacks 10-3 winners at home against Seattle. The D-backs 33-34. Taking a look at the standings right now, it's the Yankees on top of the AL East with the Blue Jays 4 behind the Rays. I mean, here's another team that just keeps fucking doing it every single season. They're 36-31, just 5 back of the Yankees. The Tigers with the best record in all of baseball, 44-24. That's 20 games above 500. The Twins are in second place in the AL Central. They are 8 games back at 35-31. And then the Astros atop the AL West with a 36-30 record. I mentioned that earlier. The M's are 3 back at 33-33. And how about the Angels? 32 and 34 just 4 back. The Mets in the National League, 43 wins, 43 and 24. That is the best record in the National League. They're 5 up on the Phillies. And then you got the Cubs are 5 up on the Cardinals in the NL Central. Cubs 41 and 26 with that win last night. And then, of course, the Dodgers 40 and 28, a half game up on the Giants. Are you shitting me? The Giants is a half game out of first place, won 6 in a row, 7 and 3 in their past 10. Remember, this is coming on the heels of that really tough stretch that they had, losing those tight ball games to San Diego, right? A bunch of one-run games. And then all of a sudden you start winning those one-run games and bam, you just go ahead and run from there. Buckwheat, what's up, buddy? Bakersfield to California representing today. Just fucking fantastic. Okay, a couple things I want to get to real quick, and then I got to go. I got a pickleball game. MLB players make it clear in a poll that they don't want to play for the A's, but which managers and teams do they like? This is fascinating. So it says for most major leaguers, the ground beneath their feet rarely feels stable. 8 and 9 figure contracts are exceptions, not the rule. Each pitch, each plate appearance, and each defensive chance can serve as a audition for 29 other teams, but that doesn't mean the grass is always greener on the other side, and that doesn't stop major leaguers from wondering. In the annual anonymous players poll conducted in spring training, we asked more than 100 of them which opposing managers they would and wouldn't want to play for, as well as which rival organization have good and bad reputations among players. Well, here we go. Here are the results. Which manager, aside from your own, would you most like to play for? Here is a list and all the managers that got votes. On top of the list, Bruce Bochy. Interesting. 20 votes. Terry Francona, 17. Stephen Vogt. So you got the two old school guys with 15. Craig Counsell at 9. Brian Sticker at 7. Dave Roberts, 7. Alex Cora, 6. Carlos Mendoza was 6. Aaron Boone's at 5. AJ Hinch at 4. Ron Washington at 4. Clayton McCullough at 3. Let's see, Marlins guy, in case you're wondering. Kevin Cash at 3. Mike Schilt at 3. Bob Melvin at 2. And Dusty Baker at 2. On the flip side here, which manager, aside from your own, would you not want to play for? This is very interesting. Bud Black of the Rockies. I mean, we can't kick the man when he's down and fired. 5. Mainly that was because no one wanted to play for the Rockies. Ollie Marmol at 5. Mike Schilt at 4. Who wouldn't want to play for Mike Schilt? What a bunch of pussies, man. Mike Schilt's a badass. Baseball lifer. And this is the one that really gets me scratching my head and just tells me how fucked up Gen Z is. Ron Washington with 4 votes saying he is the manager you wouldn't want to play for. I'm going to stop there because if there's ever been a time that I wanted to give up on this generation, it's right fucking now. Ron Washington was my favorite coach I ever played for. So anybody who would sit there and say that you don't want to play for Ron Washington is out of their fucking mind. The baseball knowledge, the expertise, the experience, the personality, the ability to make you laugh, he is everything you would want in a manager. So the fact that you had 4 fucking people, just 4, that's all it takes, come out and say, oh, I wouldn't want to play for Ron Washington? Fuck you. You guys are so twisted in your mind. Harden the fuck up. Golly. It's disgusting. I mean, there really is. All right, which organizations have good reputations among players? This is fascinating. On top of the list, and this is true, it's the same shit. Dodgers and Yankees. They've always been known as being a class above everybody else. And so, if I'm the 28 other teams, I challenge you. Quit being so fucking cheap. Quit setting the standard so low. There's a reason why the Dodgers and Yankees are going to the World Series seemingly every year, or at least the playoffs every single year. The Yankees haven't had a losing season in 30 fucking years. There's a reason. They're a class organization. They do shit right. They do it better. They take care of their minor leaguers. And once again, they are on top of that list. The bottom of that list, by the way, in case you're curious, Pirates, Marlins, Rockies, White Sox, and A's. Jeez. Okay, then one last players poll thing here. I did find this interesting too. Anonymous MLB player poll. Who do the players like to watch play the most? Okay, so here's the list in reverse order. Paul Skeens is at the bottom of this list. The bottom? What the fuck is wrong with you people? The bottom? Michael Harris Jr. is above Paul Skeens, and I like Michael Harris Jr. But you really going to go to the ballpark to watch Michael Harris Jr. or Michael Harris II to go watch him play before you're going to watch Paul Skeens pitch? No fucking way. Jarren Duran, I like him. He's above Paul Skeens. I would go watch Jarren Duran play, but I'm not buying a ticket specifically to go watch Jarren Duran play. I'm buying a ticket to watch Paul Skeens pitch. All right, Garrett Cole is on this list. Byron Buxton, yes, certainly. Entertaining players. Cole, I would buy a ticket to watch him pitch. And look, if you're a pitcher, it's a little different. Because I do think that position players, you just expect them to be in there every single day. So when you do have that pitcher that's taking the ball every fifth day, there's a little bit of an extra attraction to go there. How about they have Blake Trinan on here, right next to Bryce Harper? Oh, Jacob deGrom. And once again, these are the players speaking who they like to watch play the most. I got to believe like the relievers are the ones who voted for Trinan. Fernando Tatis Jr., Mike Trout, Tariq Skubal. Certainly the creme de la creme when it comes to starting pitchers. Here's a great question. Would you rather watch Tariq Skubal or Paul Skeens? You have a chance to go to one of those two games right now. I'd probably pick Skubal just because the Tigers are the better team. But that would be a very tough decision. Francisco Lindor is on this list. Aaron Judge is number 6 on the list. Mookie Betts is number 5. Ellie De La Cruz is number 4. Ronald Acuna Jr. is number 3. Bobby Witt Jr. is number 2. And drum roll, please. The number 1 player who players like to watch in all of Major League Baseball, no fucking surprise, Shohei Ohtani. So, there it is. Anyhow, Buckwheat chimes in. He says he'd rather go watch Skeens. That's a good point. Skubal's nasty, though. All right, gotta run. Gotta go. Gotta get me some. Everyone have a fantastic day. Back at you with the Daily Hustle. Once again, I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with these. Will's back on next Tuesday for the latest edition of Deuces while he's on vacation this week out in the Caribbean. So hopefully he's enjoying that. All right, everyone have a great day. See you, Buck.